Good morning. It is day 28 of 31 days of foundation. And today we are going to pull out an oldie. I have not used this in forever. So this is the Lancome Teint Idole makeup stick. And when I bought this, I was 100% obsessed with stick foundations. It was all I wanted to use. I do still like them. I think because I like a dewier finish, I find that stick foundations typically don't give me that, or they feel a little bit thicker. So I've kind of gone away from incorporating them into regular. I usually just grab them when I'm traveling or going to the gym or something like that. So I honestly have not used this guy probably in at least a year, if not more. So we're going to see if it still stacks up against my impression of it, because I used to love it. And we'll see how it ranks against all the other foundations I've been using this month, because at this point in time, I remember which ones I really love, and I remember that there are some that I didn't like as much, and so we'll see how it goes. So the thing about stick foundations that I always tend to over apply. I'm like, oh, it's a stick, let me just like dot it everywhere. And the one good thing is I can control where I dot it. So where I know I need more coverage, I go ahead and dot there. But then I start dotting away, and then I feel like, oh, I need to dot more. Oh, I need more coverage there. And suddenly I find all kinds of places that I need more coverage where I wouldn't normally. So that is the one thing. So far, this is feeling pretty nice though. It also doesn't have a smell, which I think surprises me. I don't remember it ever having a smell, but I feel like Lancome products are typically very fragrant, and this doesn't smell at all. It is, I am having a little bit of a hard time blending it out, probably because it's stick, it's not been warmed up very much, and it's a little cooler today. And I find like stick foundations when the weather is cooler, I may be totally making this up, but I think it's harder to warm them up and get them to go. But no, it looks pretty good. Off camera, it does look a little more, it looks a little more pale and pasty than I remember it. But on camera, it's not bad. We're going to warm it up with some bronzer, though, for sure. Okay, it's interesting because as it's setting, it's starting to feel a little dry, kind of right around here. I don't remember it ever doing that, but it's definitely starting to look a little more cakey too off camera. I don't know if you can really see it right up in here. I guess yeah, you can't really tell on the camera, but yeah, you can see it's starting to look a little bit textured in here because it's getting a little dehydrated. I'm not sure why. And I did use a hydrating primer, as per my usual. Dewy or hydrating, that's basically all I use. But yeah, it feels, and it's the strangest feeling, because although it feels a little bit dry in here, I almost feel like I have nothing on the rest of my face. So it's a super interesting dichotomy. As far as like, I honestly think like this foundation might get decluttered at the end of this month, but we'll see how it layers in the end. I never like to give a final feeling on something until after I get the rest of my makeup on, because of course that always changes everything. So I may end up liking it once I get everything else on, but second impression, I guess, or like 80th impression, is in comparison to everything else I have in my collection right now, this one is borderline losing its home, but we'll see. Okay, so this is my final look with my Teint Idole foundation from Lancome, stick foundation from Lancome. As it's set, it still feels like I literally have nothing on. It's really strange. I mean, let me rewind. It's a good problem to have. It definitely doesn't feel like I'm wearing anything, and that's a good thing. It's a solid, like, it's definitely medium coverage. It can, of course, be built up to full coverage. I still maintain that when I put it on and as it started to settle, this area started to feel dry on me. It doesn't look dry anymore. It still looks a little more textured than I liked it. That's how, like, when I get dehydrated, my skin tends to look like that. But considering I have moisturizer and a hydrating primer on, like, I feel like it shouldn't have done that. So I feel like that's definitely the foundation doing it. Other than that, it layered nicely. You know, I was able to layer my products on top of it evenly and well, as per usual. It is a little bit light in color for me. Like, every time I look at it, we all know that I like foundations that are a little bit too dark for me. So I'm looking at me going, ooh, I need some color. But color aside, it's definitely a good foundation. I still think I'm going to declutter it. I'm not going to lie. I'm not in love with this area starting to look textured and feeling dry. Like, that's just not an area on any woman that you want to feel like there's any texture or anything settling in the lines. So with that, I think this is going to get decluttered, but tell me what you think of it. And also, I feel like if you're more normal or even combo skin, I think you're... So yeah, if combo skin, normal to oily, I think this will be a winner for you. The Teint Idole Lancome makeup stick. It just, it feels like you're not wearing anything except for in those areas where I'm more dry. So yeah, highly recommended. No, rewind. Moderately recommended for somebody with a combination skin. I'm gonna take back my recommendation for oily skin. I'm not sure if somebody who's oily will like this because it doesn't mattify at all. You know, it's just kind of resting on the skin. It doesn't feel like it's absorbing any oils, or maybe that's exactly why it's doing, and that's why I feel so dry in that area. Anyway, a moderate recommendation for somebody with combination skin, perhaps maybe oily skin, but definitely not a recommendation for anybody with dry skin, because I do feel like as it sets and it makes you feel even more dry, especially in around the mouth area for me. And it's definitely settling a little bit when I look off camera. It's definitely starting to settle in here, which is no. A big ol' no. So, all right, Lancome, this is my first official declutter. Stay tuned, because in about 4 days I'll be doing a full declutter and seeing what I'm keeping and what I'm getting rid of my foundations. And let me know if you like my reviews. If there's anything you want me to review, I love requests. Thank you for watching. Please comment and subscribe on my channel. I'd really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.